My name is Jeff Wolford, and I'm going to provide some points on why I believe that marijuana should be legalized federally. Throughout time, we've witnessed our country battle significant obstacles when it comes to substance abuse. We've seen our country try to control substances, such as the prohibition on alcohol, such as the war on drugs, which is our current issue we're having. The war on drugs began in the early 2000s significantly, anyways, and it has become a massive failure. Everyone knows this. Each year, our country spends $51 billion on the war on drugs for nothing. A lot of the war on drugs targets impoverished communities, those who act upon smoking marijuana, those who um, are nonviolent, and I believe that needs to come to a stop. Each year, like I said, we spend $51 billion a year on nonviolent cases, whereas after 30 years of battling marijuana usage, 30 million people or more Americans still smoke marijuana or use it in some form. Some even do edibles, non-violently. On top of costing our country significant financial strain, marijuana has medical benefits and effects that affect millions. One of the more effective benefits is fighting against epilepsy. That's probably the most common, along with cancer. Cannabis is less harmful than alcohol and tobacco, and it will significantly help our debt crisis we're facing and reduce the overall strain our prisons put on our economy and on our police force. Prohibition doesn't work. It never has. On paper, it sounds great. Effectively and executively, it does not work. That's not a word. But each year we spend $1.2 billion funding marijuana spots in prison, just for marijuana, just by itself. But $7 to $10 billion each year processing marijuana violations. This is all the criminal prosecutions in court, the way we treat the criminals and the legal process, and this can be reversed completely if we decide to decriminalize marijuana. Freeing up room in prisons will ultimately free up police resources, and freeing up police resources will effectively help increase and deter violent crimes, the crimes that do matter to fight, such as murder, rape, theft, arson, and many more. Marijuana usage has grown significantly. Over 30 million Americans use marijuana annually. According to a Harvard study, 54% of people support marijuana usage recreationally. 76% support marijuana medically for medical issues such as cancer and epilepsy, and many more medical cases that people use it for. States that have legalized marijuana have seen increase in their economy, has seen a decrease in their debt, and even a decrease in their crimes. Colorado is the epitome of the example for states that have legalized marijuana. 30% of their crime rates have went down significantly since marijuana has been legalized. But when the ballot was proposed to the Colorado people, a lot of skepticism was brought to the surface, believing that legalization of marijuana would increase crime. However, Colorado and Washington and the other states that have legalized marijuana have seen a decrease in crime. But why is that? The reason that you've seen a decrease in crime is because the police don't have the strain of worrying about nonviolent crimes such as marijuana, and they're able to focus on more serious crimes like murder, theft, and the other ones. This completely changes the game when it comes to crime and the legal processes in our country. Now, one of the biggest arguments you'll see on the side of legalization of marijuana are the medical benefits. It's not a surprise when you see the negative stigma decrease on marijuana and you see studies come to light. Medical marijuana has been treated for epilepsy. It has been used for certain cancer cases. It has been used for depression. It has been used for insomnia, where people are not able to sleep. And all of these have been significantly used and significant problems for people, but all of these have been alleviated via marijuana, just smoking marijuana or ingesting it. Prescription pills can be addictive and are usually the go-to solution in modern times, but over 44,000 people die of prescription drug overdoses each year, even those who use it properly. Marijuana is less addictive than tobacco and alcohol. Tobacco and alcohol combined kill a total of 8.5 million people each year. No known deaths, however, have ever been reported for marijuana, ever. Tobacco is one of the leading causes of lung cancer, and alcohol and the DUIs account for over 2.5 million deaths each year. I interviewed two sources that use medical marijuana, and they have the first one, he is an epileptic. His name is Brandon Jackson, and he uses marijuana for his epileptic seizures that he has. He used to be on 7 of the top medications that were given to him at Cincinnati Hospital, which is a prestigious hospital, and he's seen maybe a 5% decrease in his seizures. Whereas since he's been smoking marijuana, he has seen a substantial decrease in his epileptic seizures, if not ceasing to exist. The only issues he has now is the mild jerks sometimes, but no seizures since smoking medical marijuana. The other source I interviewed was a female who uses medical marijuana for depression and anxiety. She has tried 7 of the top leading anxiety and depression medications, including Zoloft, Prozac, but yet nothing was effective. She even faced suicidal thoughts, and she even faced confidence issues. But since smoking medical marijuana, she has significantly decreased those symptoms, if not ceasing to exist. The only issue she has now would be those rainy days that we all dread and feel bad on. But we all do that. But in conclusion, the evidence is clear. The studies, which are published by Harvard, which is one of the main sources I use for this speech, 3 of their different studies, that marijuana is effective medically. It is used for insomnia, depression, and anxiety. It is used for cancer. It helps. It is given in cases of lung cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, kidney cancer, breast cancer. It is less addictive, if considered addictive. There are many people that consider it not addictive at all. And it will help increase our revenues and our surplus in our country, where we desperately need it. We are $1 trillion in debt, and if we follow suit with Colorado and Washington and the rest of the states, we will also see our debt decrease substantially. Thank you for joining my quick little pro-marijuana speech, and I suggest everyone fight for the legalization of marijuana, for those who have medical issues, for those who want to just peacefully reside in their own home and avoid prescription drugs, and those who don't want to do cocaine and other things like that. Marijuana is also a drug that people use to avoid and recover from harder drugs. So if we federally legalize marijuana, we will see several benefits across the nation. And I only have one guest today, since my other guest is at work, and I don't know many people in Richmond, so